it's me. I just wanted to do a little tutorial for you on how to use the visual editor that is part of the Impreza theme that I have used for creating your website. So you've got the document that tells you how to create posts and how to create pages. But each theme is slightly different, and the one that we're using for your website has a really nice visual editor that allows you to drag and drop stuff in. So I'm going to show you how to use that now. So if we wanted to add a new page, we're going to just click on Pages, Add New Page. And I'm just going to call it test page so we know what we're doing. So as you can see here, within our theme we have the opportunity to use the normal kind of WYSIWYG editor, which doesn't do an awful lot for us. Yes, we can use all the usual kind of italicize, bold, bullet points, those kind of things that we would with regards to almost like having a Word document in front of us. But it's not as flexible as using the Visual Composer. So I want to show you this. If we click on Visual Composer, it gives us this, and it says that this is a visual preview of your page. We haven't got any elements in there, so we just need to drag and drop, or we need to add an element. So we click up here to add an element, or we can add a row. Now the difference is that a row is like this, and it means you can custom the layout. So you can have it full width, halfy, you can have a 2/3 and a third, in thirds, in fourths, again in just different layouts that you might want to lay your content out on. Now you can change that even when you can mess around with that as you go along. The other thing that you can do, if I take that out, is you can use templates. Now there are some demo pages that go along with the theme. Now I tend not to have them in, just purely because it means you'll have lots and lots of pages sitting in your trash, and I don't want to slow down your site. But if there are pages that you want to have a look at, then obviously we can import that demo data and you can have a mess around with it. But if there's pages that you've set up and you like the way that they are they're laid out, you can then save that current page as a template. So you would go to the page that you want. Once it's all up here, you can then save that page, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. So if we add a row, and we're going to have it in 2 columns. Okay, we've now got a big cross in each of these, a little plus, which means we can add content in. We can also edit the columns here. We can also edit the row here. So anywhere where there's these little pencil icons, that means you can edit. Where there's a little 2 pages, that means you can clone it, you can duplicate it, and then you can delete it with the little arrow here. So in here I'm going to add an element. So I could either click here or I could click in here, and it's going to give me various different elements that I can use. So little widgets and plugins and bits and bobs that we can use here to then start to build up the page that we want. Now I find that this is really easy for people to use because it tells you what it is, and you can then visually see how it's going to look on the page. So for example, we might want to put in a text block in this section, so that will give us the opportunity to go in and write in here. Again, we don't have a massive amount of functionality here. Again, this is just some bits and bobs of code. We can bold, we can italicize, we can add a link. So we can put any kind of content in here, and we can bold, and we can italicize if we want to. So we just highlight and italicize, and what it'll do is put the code in that we need for those bits. And if we want to link to other parts or outside of the website, we can do that here. So we can link to existing content, or we can link externally by pasting the URL in here. I always tick this to say open the link in a new tab, so that wherever that person is going to, it takes them to a new tab if it's outside of your website. If it's inside your website here using this content, I wouldn't have it opening in a new tab. Okay, so if we click on save, you'll see then that we've now got this here. If you want to have different sizes of text, then you're going to need to know a tiny little bit of code, not a great deal. All you need to do is in front of your text, you do H1 or H2 or H3 or H4 or H5 or H6. Okay, so those are the different sizes. H1 is the biggest, H6 is then kind of the smallest, but it's bigger than normal text without these H tags. So H stands for heading. And then what we need to do is at the end of the bit that we want to be that size, we need to close it off with the oblique, so that closes that off. And if we save that now, you'll see that that's now a different size to that. Okay, so you can have a play around with sizes for your fonts. And in here we are going to put an image. So the image widget will pop up and it will give us the opportunity to select one that we've already got in here in our media library, or we can upload a file. So if I pop that one in, click set image, we can then configure that image here. So we decide whether we want it aligned in default, aligned center, left or right, whether it's full size, a thumbnail or medium, whether we want people to be able to open the original image in a light box, whether there's a link that we want that to go to, animation, that kind of stuff, and click save. Okay, so we just basically start to build up the page, and if we want to add in a little separator to make sure that there's not too much going on, so we can make it invisible, we can make it huge. If it's not invisible, we can use little icons to sit in between, so we'll do that. If I click publish now, it won't show on the website because I've not added it via the menu, but it will give us an opportunity to view the page, so we can have a look and see what we've created. So you can then really see how the website looks, and you can make any changes then that you want to. Okay, so you can see here we've got test page, and it's showing us with the breadcrumbs, and it's showing us with the column over here with the text, and it's showing us with the image here on the left hand side. So if we scroll down, you can then also see that it's got the separator with the little star. So basically you can just start to create and build up. Once you're viewing this page, if you then click on edit page, that will take you back to the page that you were creating. And if we want to get rid of that header and the breadcrumbs, those are down here on the right hand side. So I'm going to get rid of those. I don't want those there. So we can have the caption only and the breadcrumbs, but no, we're going to get rid of them so it's nice and clean. Okay. What else do we want in this section? So you can change the footer settings, you can add in featured images like you can on any other blog post, but really for the page you want to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible so that it's nice and easy and clean for the readers. So we can add in anything that we want to here really. We've got action boxes, video. This is really nice. So you basically load your content into YouTube, so you're getting traffic from YouTube that will find you there, and then you literally just paste the share link in here, and it will then save that video, it will embed it in that page so people can view it in the page. What else is there? There's just loads of different things that you can try. So if we add another row in here, ooh, get away, add another row in here, we can then change the layout of that. So we could have lots of little boxes here, and we could put a button in there. Okay, You can change the colours. So there's lots of different things that you can do once you're within each of the widgets. But essentially that's how you start to build your page. So if you're then happy with that layout, what you can do is then click on Save Current Page as Template, and we'll just call that test page so we know what it is. Okay, and we will update and just save that page. So when we then go and create a new page, we can use the same layout. We don't have to create from scratch. If we click on Add New for another page. And the nice thing about this theme is that this visual editor works in your blog posts as well, so you haven't just got to have that kind of one column of everything, which a lot of posts have. So it just creates a bit more interest, and it's easier for people to read, so it will score nicely as far as Google's concerned. So if we do test page 2, we will come down here and we will click on the test page template, and voila, it now brings in the content that we have put in before. So it's all there ready for you to have a mess around with. So have a play with it. It's really good, really easy, drag and drop. As I say, you can edit stuff, you can clone it so we get another thing in there, or we can delete it. Just have a play, and so you can be really as creative as you want, because you've got lots of elements and layouts that you can use. So see how you get on. Good luck.